Well, I think a 2-0 up against Team BDS would probably be the best Valentine's Day gift MNM has ever gotten. So let's see if they're able to get it done. They're going to have the first ban here. It's going to be Ying. Love that they're taking this away on Cafe. Her execution utility, her ability to clear out a lot of these, very close quarters positions like Pixel and some other pivotal locations of the utmost importance to the offense. Dokkaebi as well. We've seen how easy and just how big of a monster she has been throughout this tournament every time she's played. Valkyrie also going to be removed. And what's going to be our last defensive ban here? We'll see how hindered that will be.
As the final ban comes in, it's going to be Ma, interestingly enough, as we want to get rid of a little bit of the utility mitigation. Does give a lot of freedom to MNM to start off this half, though, as they're going to have both Solus as well as Azami to set themselves up. Solus for the general freedom, and obviously his capability to avoid or outright knock out drones that come her way. And then on top of that, the Azami play for setting up areas upstairs like Cigar to really batten down the hatches, as it were, and prevent any pushes from BDS from being successful. Doesn't look like we're going to get either of those operator picks, at least not initially, though. So that is going to hold back the craziness that we may get from some of those new power operators, at least initially here, as you don't find it super relevant to utilize on this first floor hold.
Yes, indeed. So, welcome to Cafe, folks. I hope you like it cold. I mean, we do here in Montreal. 54% defensive win rate so far throughout the tournament on Cafe with 16 plays. This will be the 17th. Bar Cocktail is our most successfully defended site at a 63%. Where Service and Cooking, the site we're on right now, follows that up at 56. Mining Dining, the worst at 42. And in third place, Reading Dining at 51%. Let's get into this and see if MNM can try and take matters into their own hands on this defensive side. If they can get way ahead of the game here, we could decide things quite quickly on Cafe. BDS out the gates now for the very first time, and they've got Lion to boot.
Like a fact, going to move directly towards the main entryway. Unfortunately, won't find an easy path inside, but does have the capability to deal with that laser gate, as he's got the triple flashes to dump right into there, one of which already going to be utilized to clear things out and hopefully allow him to start conquesting forward just a tad here. Same will be pushed forward as they're going to spot out this camera on the inside of the building, and
that
actually
is absolutely hilarious.
That was
the bulletproof camera.
Ah, yeah.
Yep, they shoot. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's usually quite important.
I forgot it has that EMP in it. Yeah, so that's what they're doing.
Oh, trades back and forth.
As we said there, the bulletproof camera does have that one little EMP charge. They use it to disable the first attempt to take it down with the Rotera drone. LM's, of course, getting right back onto that one and sending a second at it to make sure that it goes away. They don't want to be handing over that type of intel to the players from BDS, so rather to the players from MNM, so they do get rid of that very quickly. Solitov with the hold here by the Whiskey Door. Still looking to try and line up this headshot. BDS way more composed in that position. Solitov and the rest of MNM do have to back away. Give BDS at least that little bit of room to start this engagement.
Oh, man.
They'll try to move forward. The nade going through as well, and right on top of Solitov says goodbye to him. Shaiko also quickly dealing with Nave. The defense is falling to pieces here before BDS even really starts their commitment. Things not looking good indeed for MNM to sustain going into a later portion of this round.
And Tyrant's so low on HP, and he has a lot of fights to win here. Practically the entire team of BDS bearing down on his location. Swings out toward White, found out on the drone. This will be the pick here. Lems will take him down. Nice shots from him. Up to Nello now on site to 1 versus 4. This doesn't really seem like it's going to work into his favor at all, does it? 2 BDS members lined up on both sides of this site, and it's going to all start here. Some crucial shots from Nello. He's going to hop into Prep Kitchen, but they've boxed him out. They know that he's stuck in this corner. Shaiko waiting to be able to find him. Very well done from BDS, handling it extremely well, especially on the frag grenade delivery that we saw in Whiskey.
Much more confident start to things for BDS as they put their foot down right at the beginning of the round, setting an expectation for MNM as we move deeper into this series here. They'll rotate back up into Reading and Fireplace for their second hold. See what potential surprises will pop out here as BDS yet again bringing a very similar lineup to this one. They'll still be heavily utilizing those Rotera drones on the floor as the Lion as well to scout out any movement from MNM. and the usual attacking assortment that isn't required for this site. Apart from that, this will be a top-down clear, though, from BDS. We'll need to work things a bit more progressively, as they won't be able to focus entirely on just that first floor clear, only the first floor clear. MNM should have a few tricks up their sleeves, specifically deployed towards that third floor to try and slow things down, and that would be especially so, considering we've got Knave selecting the Clash to bring into the fold on this one.
It's time for some Clash play. We haven't seen it yet today here for MNM, but time to see if we'll get it now. How successful it can be. Haven't seen Clash all that much this entire tournament, but when she is brought, she is quite the brute force. Constantly deal with the slowing effect of her electricity, as well as just the overall shield play that we're all accustomed to when it comes to Rainbow Six. So we'll see if Knave can channel any of that going into round two. Should definitely slow down things for BDS on their entry points towards the actual areas that MNM are holding. Obviously, it'd be a little easier for them to get some key footholds, at least on the outside portions of this building, as Cafe a little bit bigger than the map like border.
Lem's also leaning on this rappel right now, trying to see if he can capture Solotov, and he nearly does. Solotov oblivious to it, as he tries to go for the cross and re-establish deeper Cigar positioning, chucks the drone down in hopes of an immediate refire so that he can stay in this spot, but will not get the response to that one. Solotov evacuates the situation, gets himself out of dodge there, keeps himself alive, more importantly, to continue the play later into the round. And so the rest of the team here, they're trying to find ways to strike back against the early clear pressure from BDS as well, but no dice on actually locking in towards any of that just yet. Lems and the rest of the squad continue to bait down some of their time here in hopes of sussing out something from the defense, but not coming out with much so far into this one. Like a fact, creeping himself forward onto that new balcony. Solotov deep committed, of course, to Cigar now. BDS should be somewhat aware of this. They just don't know where he went after he crossed in that direction earlier on in the round. Wow. But wow, the Clash apparently is going to be a non-issue. The nade getting perfectly placed directly on top of Nafe, and Solotov apparently not going to be expected no longer on the inside of Cigar. Gets away with one before dashing away down the train hatch.
Directly under him. Oh, Maestro, are you ready for the high-flying maneuver? In fact, doesn't seem like he wants to go for it. Go for the counter angle here. Much smarter addition. Oh, he just sees the barrel. A single step. That's all that separates him. EFAC cannot hop over this, though. Smash and grab. Can he get the kill? Pressure out. There it is from Renshiro. Fantastic team play from them. Love top floor control. Nitro self-prep for uses here. Gonna have to worry about that. The E1D out as well. EFAC rotation in towards pillars. Looking for this plant on the reading door here in the near future.
Target with the wrap, an immediate lock-in against the Lems, removing the strength of numbers from BDS here. But like a fact, at the same time, going to try and just steal the site and make the numbers a bit of a non-issue for him and the rest of his team. With the commitment to the inside, barely wins out that engagement, but that'll guarantee the plant to go down. Breedy, of course, being the one to slap it onto the floor in the first place here. Tyrant with an initial response, catches like a fact, still in the open by Library. Solotov as well, trying to rotate back in to a better retake position, but with Renshiro having the top down established, it is going to be a tough ask to retake this area. They'll get it, but okay, how do they get past the sledge now? He's already down Solotov somehow. Trying to bring him back up from the brink, and it looks like they'll be successful in that too. Renshiro not establishing the immediate overwatch for it, but watching instead for the case, and as such, he will catch Tyrant. Solotov makes the run up top, but timing is just not going to work out here. The descent has been made, only about 3 seconds in excess here. He misses his opponent, but at the same time, Renshiro gets behind coverage with just enough time and will claim the kill anyway. So the second one also going to fall to BDS here, as they lead 2-0 to start the map off.
Renshiro, the hero of the round for BDS, not only because of the post-plant positioning, what he was able to accomplish there, but really just the entry moments here. Him jumping down and influencing this play onto Nello, really sparking a lot of positive plays from BDS. Able to get that plant down. MNM, though, having that dog at him, still able to bring this down to the 1 versus 1. But BDS, they are looking so solid so far on this offensive end. Not only that last round, but the prior round to that, onto this exact site. Such easy pickings for them, as they were able to dismantle the entire setup with some keyly placed frag grenades.
And with those being properly utilized here, BDS is able to score themselves a second round inside of this map. Bit of a different flair going to be shown from MNM as they finally look to try and lock things down with another first floor player rotating over to this one now. They're attempting it already back in round number 1, showing a little bit more aggressive a stance that time. This time going to rely a bit more on the utility play between both the Echo as well as the Goyo Canisters and Tyrants, Toxic Babes, to try and stem the tide from BDS once they are ready to execute here on this round.
I've been seeing a position somewhat similar to this from a lot of teams trying to hold down Bakery. I think the key thing for MNM is I'm very surprised that they didn't bring Azami. She's so fantastic in that bank, or rather that bakery position. Not on bank, that's quite a ways away from Russia. It's all the way in Los Angeles, actually, for that map. But yeah, no Azami in play. Just again, pretty surprising for Bakery, given all the positions you can kind of break up and new angles you can develop with those Kiba barriers. But MNM feeling as though the Goyo Canisters as well as the Yokai will suffice with that deployable shield. Twitch drone in, will get thwarted by a mute jammer. Able to get rid of a piece here. And an ADS, and a camera. Nobody paying attention to EFAC's Twitch drone, so he's going to let that reside in Small Bake for some time.
That's most of the info util now gone from the Small Bake, and of course the entryway to the Big Bakery area. So it does limit the potential capabilities there for MNM a little bit, but still going to be in perfectly fine position for now. It's just that slower clear from BDS. When it does finally reach that pivotal point, things will be a bit more difficult to try and fend off, as they'll have free access with drones. They can potentially line that up against any more aggressively lean players trying to play against the Bakery counter itself, but still a few seconds away from seeing all of that unfold as BDS needs to get themselves into position. Bride and the rest of BDS continuing to kind of align themselves will await this back as the time ticks down further and further. Now the flash dump comes in to start the little bit of a pressure challenge here against Tyrant. Nicely done with that nade to it. Rolls just close enough to actually knock out both the shield as well as the ADS, but not close enough to get triggered by it when it was still in the air. So takes that one down, fully locking it in, and should destabilize Tyrant's position pretty quickly here to make it that much easier to actually eliminate him.
Still have to worry about it in a certain sense, though. They play that too close. Might be their demise due to that shotgun. And Shiro's gotten a lot of space to work with on this top floor. Tyrant still somehow residing inside of VIP past all of this. But BDS really haven't forced him out of his hole just yet. It'll be Solotov to go down first. Shaiko knows that there's still a player around the area. Nello's going to get burnt up a bit past that. BDS have got to strike here. Who's going to head this off? Shaiko looking for the swing still on VIP. Another smoke out, and that might be the kill necessary. Some damage off, but it's going to be Nello to falter. They know where at least one of these players are, but MNM making a grand stand on the site now. That's something that they didn't account for. Shaiko's constantly been flirting back and forth with this position, but now it's just up to Nafe to try and stop this from happening. Shotgun out, big play from Tyrant. Nafe's up top. He might have this, but he's not paying attention to the hallway player. Renshiro with a big play. Some big shots coming in from Tyrant, but now he has to deal with the optimal positioning of Renshiro. He doesn't have any grenades to try and solve this. A sledge above, a drop. Will this force Tyrant off? It will. Shotgun out, Renshiro gets it done again.
Tyrant nearly could have had it on the stick there, but decides to go for the frag instead. Loses the round on it. As Renshiro once again clutching it out big for BDS here. It's been the story all day for this team. It's going to trigger an MNM tack timeout as it's them now that are struggling outright so far inside of this map. And apparently need some serious help from their coach.
Yeah, Renshiro is 7-0 right now, so let's take a listen in.
They're not doing anything special. We just die to the people. Die to people who come on. We shouldn't.
Yeah, but you guys used to tell me the whole squad clock because you made the fucking cloaks and gouge and he shot me from where was it?
Okay, then don't worry. Where do you want to go?
Alright, so let's communicate, guys. You got this, your fucking list.
Luke?
Let's calm down as well. Let's get the next 3 rounds and then we go from there.
Okay, I can be in garage always, so I can never know.
You asked me if you wall bangs, you can tell.
I need to play again. I don't feel on my side.
I'm gonna be doing it.
All right, and the pause will expire. Get ourselves back into things here for round number 4. BDS looking to make a statement response after things just did not click that well for them back on border. We will have to wait and see if Destiny potentially was meant to give them this map instead. They'll thrust us onto Skyscraper for that third and final map. Send this series all the way. MNM, of course, this is their big rotation point. We will see now if the pause has potentially brought out anything new for them. Certainly trying to play a bit more into the site yet again, as the Mira has been picked up here by Tyrant as well, alongside of the castle barricades. MNM wanting to maybe dictate the play style from BDS a little more, as they've had free reign over most of the map for the majority of this half so far. Not necessarily something they want to allow to continue here as we move into the second quarter of things.
Solid timeout here from MNM. Don't want to let this get too far gone on the defensive side, unless they were just quickly trying to run this over to Skyscraper. But obviously, have to try and give it, you know, your Boy Scouts best. MNM will be building things up on this mid-floor at the mirror windows here from Tyrant. Also, the Pulse play working its way in past the Solo, so we've been seeing so much of throughout this tournament. Pulse also starting to show up just a tad bit more often than what we're usually used to seeing. Still a very solid operator, but definitely a thing that's worked its way in for this tournament. BDS is going to ascend to the sky, hit the roof, start breaking up these hatches, and get this drone play going for round 4.
Will be the slow wind-up as usual. So MNM still trying to build up their own defenses. They'll patiently wait in the depths of their setup to see what they can potentially suss out from their attackers here and hopefully execute upon things to put a better defensive set up on the board. Like a fact, just gonna whack away at the Hell Door here. So we'll check in with him in a few minutes once he completes the set on that one. Brede and the rest of BDS, though, make the initial entry towards top red, and we'll be able to clear things out leading up to Cigar as well. No resistance there. It's not until they work themselves, of course, to Cocktail side of things that we've got that little two-player stack from MNM. Tyrant's position going to be nice and secure, too, with the Mirror being played into Mining Room. This is the usual setup for her, and it should work perfectly fine to sway away any temptations from BDS to go for some early window play.
So much damage dealt to Nello, and this is going to force respect out of MNM. Shaiko and BDS have woken up on this map. It's their choice and definitely showing. Nafe with a nice pickup. Solotov goes down though, and I don't know if anybody's capable of getting him. Actually, they will safely pick him up off the ground. Blood in the snow, but still alive and breathing. It's a key factor for MNM as they'll maintain their man advantage. A frag grenade out, but just as I say it, it's stolen away from Shaiko. Such a perfectly placed grenade, and it looks like BDS have got a perfect read so far onto MNM's positioning. Nafe might get caught off guard here. This fight's so very important to the future of this round, and Alem shuts him down. BDS all over MNM on Cafe.
Nello and Tyrant, all that's left here is MNM may have made the mistake of allowing this map to go through, just constantly beaten out in the middle of the round, never able to match the pacing of BDS on this attacking side. Tyrant with one final fadeaway kill. He gets immediately exchanged out, once again, I believe, by Renshiro to end things there. As BDS keeps it solid. The coach looking very happy on their side now, as this is a great rebound from them. And indeed, a 4-0 lead for the team. Definitely something to be smiling about, as MNM just does not have an answer on the defense.
The communication from BDS right now is unparalleled on this map. The way that they're breaking down this information and able to make plays off it later into the round. You know, key factor there being Shaiko's ability to play off of the info and get that frag kill coming up white. A lot of positive things for this French squad. Looking like an easy map for them, John. 40 up 4 rounds, and I mean, well within their right to take this entire half.
Certainly looking like it will continue to go that way. All the changes need to be made on MNM's side of things. Need to figure out a better way to make these defiant stances, these bunker setups, these extensions out from the site, even the roam game, need to find a way to make sure it has success, because BDS are reading into it. And as Stokes mentioned, the communication too far on point. Even if you're able to get away with one, more than likely one of BDS's teammates will just re-exchange it a few seconds later anyway. Try to go full bunker, but this is not the way this map is generally played out. I'm gonna try to go up to the 3rd floor, where there really isn't a roam game too much to worry about here. It's just all played on a long horizontal game, as both teams will fight and scrap for control over that 3rd floor.
Calibrating air compression. All set.
Well, Renshiro with a huge bounce back from what we saw initially.
Nice.
Wow. Nafe off the audio catches Alem's completely off guard. A cafe classic right there. Same with the Nitro Cell, but thank God Shaiko's got his ears on. He hears that thing and pokes it out of the sky. Able to stop MNM from dealing another death blow to Team BDS.
You're going to see Tyrant, in the meanwhile, get slapped down. And then I believe we're going to try to follow it up with a Whitehall push here.
With a nade play there from Shaiko to get that nice little damage proc on the Tyrant.
BDS, though, only just now entering from top red, so they'll be held back for a little bit longer. Shaiko still trying to move around, check for all the intel. Has spotted the move from Solotov. Working himself out from Pixel there. So they will have to be a bit cautious when they fully commit from the red drop, or potentially the hatch play too, if they try to work themselves in from that avenue instead. The nade duck coming in for the attackers. Taking out really not a whole lot, unfortunately, under these circumstances. Just forcing back the hold from Nello a little bit more, forcing in a little bit more respect. The patience in the meanwhile from Lycofak pays off hugely. He's been able to work himself into the janitor drop, takes down one there, quickly wraps to find a second target over by lower white as well. Beautiful pinch from him. BDS were at a lack for options of how they were going to be able to start this entry work, and apparently they find the direct answer by just going for the outright flank against the defensive setup. Another member of the team already down on the defensive side as well here. Make that 2. Solotov was brought back up, so they do have that extra member rolling, but that is indeed all they have left now. Solotov in the 1v3. Can't even get out of the room he's holding. So BDS make quick work of things yet again to lock in number 5.
Get you somebody that smiles at you like Bride smiles at Renshiro. Bride knows Renshiro is having a ball right now, having a heck of a game, keeping BDS in this. What a showcase of how to play Cafe from BDS so far. The patience play constantly working its way in, allowing their other teammates to work the map, creating more chaos on the defensive end, rolling these kills up and smoking them right now. BDS. 6 rounds in a row, very capable, well within grasp now. They're sitting on 5. MNM, they haven't been able to muster a single defensive round on Cafe, which used to be a hallmark of defensive play.
It did. Not looking like it, though, inside of this map as MNM fails to pick up even a single round so far here. Changing things a little bit yet again to try and play into Library, adding the Goyo canisters to this hold along with the Maestro, which has been present for previous plays also. Let's see if that can potentially be the winning adjustment. Not entirely sure if it's going to end up being the case. A few slight changes for BDS, mainly just to bring the Thatcher into this one, as well as the Buck for a Lems to deal with a little bit of extra soft breach on those top downs. If Renshiro finds themselves getting picked, it'll be a nice insurance policy more than anything. But it's not required by any means here. Hot. Team BDS out yet again here, ready to begin moving forward. We'll see how quickly they can try to steal away third floor control, as that's been the initial goal for them, and the initial goal for most teams when moving through this site.
Yes, indeed. The craziest thing about this matchup right now is that this is who is able to go off farther into our lower bracket. Whoever loses this ends up going home. BDS already beating Liquid earlier today, our former Yongshipping major matchup. Not only our runner-up, but also our victors here in the likes of BDS. Having to play each other in the very first opening round of the lower bracket, now leading to this. BDS up 5 rounds over MNM, making their case to continue on in this tournament. Sending MNM home, which has been one of the most fun teams to watch. Very interesting little knife there, build up. Perfectly filled in. It literally looks like the foam in your walls for, like, you know, warmth, trying to, insulation. There we go. The second one's gonna work out. Warmth. I was trying to remember what the heck the word was. Insulation there. EMPs and they're actually both gonna get eaten up by ADSs. Don't see that every day. There's gonna be 3 ADSs here for Nafe as he's making sure he doesn't get blown sky high.
And Nafe certainly with a bit of an insurance policy sitting on the ground right there to eat up all of these nade throw-ins. BDS, though, still trying to prioritize the elimination of that player. Is not able to lean into the winning angle for it just yet. A little over a minute to go here now for BDS to make things work. They're 5-1. Certainly could be in the cards, but BDS have been patient in the way they approach. This is a good spot, too, as they do catch the Azami hopping over the barricade. So look at this, Lem's nose. Cocktail is clean for the push here as he works himself forward. His teammates right behind him for that play as well. Great snowball from BDS to steal away all that third floor momentum. They'll take it away. 45 seconds, though. Keep in mind, of course, obviously third floor is not the site. So they still need to make the rotation down on the second to get themselves into library if that is going to be their plant point.
Plenty of angles adopted for BDS, but that also works back against them. Some big kills coming through for MNM, but Breeday will fire back. Tyrant to falter. Alems once again eliminated early, but it looks like it's not going to befuddle Team BDS all that much. Big kills, it's going to be down to Solotov, and I don't see him getting too far with this, especially after he gets his first kill. If the first kill does even come, as the player is there, he'll find that, but now they know where he is, and that's the big issue. He'll work his way in via hell. Nice angle, but slap Shaiko onto the floor. Where's this case go down? Well, it's actually over inside of the other room here. Breeday's got a nice angle to try and abuse, but Solotov will clean him up. EFAC will be the one to actually pick up the kill off of an angle through the fireplace. So a perfect half from BDS here on Cafe.
And as BDS is able to lock that one in, like Stoke said, a perfect half, not leaving a whole lot of room open for MNM to rebound in the second half. It needs to be pretty much the same, not even pretty much. It needs to be the same thing from them. Perfect 6 rounds, so we'll see how far they can get, but realistically, BDS just kind of warming themselves up for Skyscraper now, as that is probably the focus for not only them, but in all honesty, MNM too here, as they have failed outright to win even a single round on their offensive half.
Your bombs from being defused by attackers.
I'm just curious for MNM here. Let's check this out here. Cafe, 3 plays recently. They've beaten Wolves, Dire Wolves, and Liquid, all on this map. Haven't lost it in recent history. They only banned it 1 time, it seems, and that was banned by MNM. So MNM, not a slouch when it comes to this map. No wonder they allowed it through, but BDS, simply better. There's no other way to put it at the moment. See if they can have a smooth 7-0 here. This will be, I do believe, the 3rd or 4th 7-0 of the tournament, if it does happen. The other 2, sadly enough, happening to SSG.
And unfortunate indeed for SSG, but it had to happen to someone else at some point, and we're going to find out on this round if it is going to end up being MNM. Not the way you want to close out a game with a donut here. At the very minimum, the team can just, like I said, kind of wipe the thoughts away and focus on map number 3, but we'll see them get to that point. MNM is still more than likely having a little bit of fight left in them. It is just hard sometimes to fight against the inevitable, as it would seem at this point for BDS, but they need to put their foot down first in at least one of these defensive rounds. Let's see if they can get the job done as MNM begins the process of popping things open to take some initial 3rd floor map control. BDS immediately striking true, but MNM ready for the challenge, wherever it went down. We're going to see Nave able to trade that one back on to Renshiro, but Nave as well will be brought down to just a tiny little sliver of HP because of it.
I was going to say Nave almost died too. Very low on HP, hasn't even used the first EE1D yet. Tyrant gone. And Tyrant actually the man with the most frags so far here for MNM. Oh, a gunfight that Shaiko wants so badly. Dancing with the hatch, he'll make it out. Rotate his way back towards Shaiko, in towards Cigar. He'll play inside the hut for now. Usually see him on this favored side of the skylight. So routine thing, nice shot there from Alems. Wow, a very, very critical blunder there from Solotov, something that they really needed in their camp. But BDS have made very quick work not only of this round, but of Cafe. This is looking well within their right to take.
Just a minute and a half to go here, and BDS will be in pole position to lock things down without a single challenger on the grid here. Tyrant and Solotov already dead. These 2 players are relatively close to it on the MNM side of things. So how exactly will they piece this back together? Some early damage connecting against Shaiko here. Shaiko's, well, forced to hit the deck, at least initially, but it's going to be thrown back. Nave getting 1 more before he goes down, but Shaiko for 2 as he steals away both of the players trying to push the hatch play. Nello now alone here, only with a hell door to play into as well. Still has to make another rotation to get himself back up to the 3rd floor. It is just not looking plausible here for MNM to still keep themselves in this one. BDS, more than likely, heading over to a third map with a perfect 7-0 in their pocket. That'll be a massive boon indeed there. So I think it just draws a smiley face in the wall at the second one at the end of it. Not really anything it can do, so BDS just taking the W at the end of this one. 7-0 victory over MNM.
Well, shout out to Nello for smiling through the pain there. 7-0 for